GHK Lall on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Welcome to the Thursday, February 4th edition of the National Outlook. Thank you for joining us. It's my pleasure to share, and I'm appreciative of the opportunity to engage in these little conversations with you. I thank the management and the staff of Kaieteur Radio. And I should mention Mr. Joshua Van Slightman, with whom you are very familiar. He's been very helpful. I thank him. The courts, another area that we revisit from time to time. Our people, our fellow citizens who engage in criminal activity that leads to felonies, these are serious things. We've had this procession of them, and this is an issue visited before. We've had this procession of them going to the courts and crying for relief because they are too harsh. They are too harsh. So it was refreshing to read, appeal court orders convicted rapist out on bail to serve sentence. He was out on bail on appeal, and he was challenging a 7-year sentence. Well, the appeal court listened, and they said, hey, you're going back to jail. You are going to jail where you belong for engaging in sexual activity with a child who was under the age of 16, which only makes that a little bit more unpalatable, much more unpalatable. So, I think by now you could pick up my position with regards to reduction in sentencing. Let's be balanced here. Some of those 80-year sentences and 100 years or something in that vicinity, I think it's overkill. If you would sentence a 70-year-old man and a 60-year-old man to 50 years in jail, it does not make sense. It's not practical. We could say, look, 10 years, 20 years, minimum 10, or something to that effect. But I'm disturbed, and when the convicted felons go to the court and suddenly they're all contrition. They're throwing themselves at the mercy of the court when they showed no mercy to their fellow man. It could be a domestic violence abuser. It could be a man sitting down with his friend imbibing. How many times have we read about that? Where they're having a good time, they're listening to the music, they are gaffing whatever they gaff about, most likely sport and politics, and who's thieving. And then somebody kills somebody, stabs a piece of wood, a peeling sieve. And now when the sentence comes up, you do the crime, do the time. It's like, oh God, it's too heavy. Well, no, it's not too heavy. Not when husbands kill wives and husbands burn down homes. Usually it's husbands. Not when bandits go into stores, premeditated, or homes, home invasion we call them, and terrorize people and shoot them. Just the other day I read about, I think it was in Linden, where a couple of bandits accosted a young man, and when he threw his phone into the neighbor's yard, they took the gun and beat him on his head. Now, what kind of mercy and leniency should be extended to that kind of perpetrator if he or she is caught? I would say none. You didn't show any. Why should you be? Why should you be given any? Yes, I understand that sentences should not be punitive. They should not be draconian. They should be rehabilitative. And I'm fine with that. But you know what? Somewhere along the line, we've got to draw a line and stick to it. Hey, this is the minimum. This is how it's going to be. This is how we stand and how we look upon these excesses, these brutal excesses that waylay our citizens, that menace our society, and we will not have it. We as jurists, responsible jurists, people who have been given a serious obligation, we will not be part of that. We will throw the book at you. And when I say when the book is thrown, let it stay thrown. Until the next time, this is GHK Lall on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for joining us on the National Outlook.